There are two very disturbing videos that have recently been posted online. We are not showing them to you. One happened in Florida where teens were mocking a drowning man who ended up dying. And in another, a woman allegedly under the influence live streamed the car accident that killed her sister. Now, our question, I guess, to each other and to you all is what is happening? What is happening where the first response is let me film this and mock this person, because that's what the teens in the drowning video are doing. They're mocking the guy and basically saying we're not gonna come in and save you. And the law says they don't have to. But what is the first instinct that makes people
Well, it seems to me that people who lack empathy are in certain ways psychologically disturbed. I mean, the whole World War II thing, you know, I don't want to go back that far, but the way the Cambodia, different atrocities around the world, that's really got to do with a lack of empathy to some extent. And people are becoming very craven in this country, and they're showing it. That's the difference.
That is
Years ago, you didn't see it, but I think it's always been thus.
Social media, you mean? The ability
to social media is now giving it to you.
It's always been like, I know that we've always had that segment of society that lacks empathy, but I wonder if, because we're living our lives so publicly on social media, that it's encouraging people to behave in this way and to document all these things where they think something's going to go viral.
Because
so let's document.
It taps into that other, the exhibitionism.
I think the psychology has always been there, the depravity has always been there. It's given them a platform. When you saw those kids that beat up the mentally challenged boy, they wanted to be fueled by the comments. So there was a sickness there in the social media, but I think it's been there. I think there are people that, I don't know if you want to know right away who their parents are. Like, how do they turn out?
I think kids oftentimes with social media too, they detach from reality. They feel that like they're filming something and it's not real life anymore. Because when they're social media, I remember interviewing kids in high school when I taught high school and them feeling that it was a detached media. Like, oh, it's just social media. It's not. So they almost detach from the moment. Their emotions leave and it becomes all about what they're showcasing to their friends, to the public, and they forget that it's a human being in a situation
But those
facing
kids,
a consequence, you know, that's going through something.
Those kids that watched the drowning guy, they were taunting him on top of it.
And see, to me, that's what changed the whole discussion for me. How do you watch something? Now, I understand that the law says you don't have to help. Maybe you don't know how to swim. Maybe you don't know how to do it. And so you're not compelled to do it.
There's no duty.
But the minute, to me, the minute you start taunting someone and compounding their fear and terror, I think that changes the discussion
legally for you.
To me, in my mind. And I wonder if we should, as a nation, start saying, okay, here's the criteria. If you know someone's going to drown because you know they can't swim and you don't call 911, we understand if you're not going to run in, but if you start taunting them,
well, in a way,
and making it worse.
The law never quite catches up with technology.
Before you get to the law, it seems to me that what you're describing is aiding and abetting a murder, in a way. The person is about to die, and you are aiding and abetting. It's almost like driving the getaway car, even though you're not putting the person's head under.
Remember that movie, The Accused, with Jodie Foster, where people were encouraging a crime? But this is a little bit different.
What happened to those people?
They got charged.
They did get charged.
And I think these, you know, I never want to see teens go to jail, but there has to be a line.
There has to be a consequence,
where you say, listen.
If you're taunting.
If you're taunting, and this is this person's last moments of life. You need to sit your ass in jail for a couple of months to figure out how this works. You can't do that.
But what if you're not?
I don't know if it
I suspect that the law will catch up. You know, the law is always pretty far behind technology because you have to legislate and you have to make these changes. But because we're seeing so much of this, I mean, we're seeing it with the mentally challenged young man that was abused, and now we're seeing it here. I imagine that there are legislators, state by state, that are going to make these changes.
I think you have to worry about it because these are young people. And you know how they say when you notice that a child is abusing an animal, that tells you something about what kind of an adult they're going to be? This is basically futuristic in terms of you've got to take care of this now.
Do you remember years ago, people used to say, you know, you'll know that it's the end of the world when they start broadcasting executions. Do you remember that? Now, young people are not going to remember that, but people of a certain age will remember hearing that because that was the lowest. Well, to me,
it's getting there.
The encouragement for this guy who's, all I could think of is this person
Father
looking.
and a husband.
Parents need to have these conversations with their kids, though, about social media. You need to make, social media is very pervasive in kids' lives. They need to sit their kids down and talk about these things that are happening.
Yeah, because we're not, the reason we're not showing it, the reason we are not showing you this video is because we don't want to encourage people that this is a good idea and they should do it so they can be on TV too. Not going to happen. We'll be right back.